but disapproval and criticism from others. Yesterday, I talked with Bo Jackson.
I'm not trying to prove anything. I don't have to prove nothing to nobody. This is how I live. It's just like asking a mountain climber, what is he trying to prove by climbing that rock? Nothing. It's just, it's in his blood. He wants to do it. It's in my blood. I keep myself busy by playing baseball and football. It's a way to breathe. If I was to stop just sports all together, say as of right now, I don't know if I could take it mentally. I'd probably be in a nut house in a month.
Are you concerned at all with what people think and say about Bo Jackson?
No. If you had asked me this question 5 or 6 years back, I probably would say yes, but I go out and live my life for Bo, and I don't let things like that bother me. I'm trying to be successful at both sports, and I guess there's more people out there wanting to see me fail at both sports, but it really doesn't matter because I'm going to do what Bo wants.
For the time being, while you feel your way along, it's one thing, but in the long term, it's no secret that in Marcus Allen and Bo Jackson, the Raiders have 2 feature backs. How's that going to work?
I'm not here to take no one's job. I'm here to play ball, to contribute to the Raiders what I can. Marcus is a super back. Everybody knows that. I'm here to play with Marcus, not against him.
You still like baseball as much as you did a year ago?
I love baseball.
If you had to name a favorite between baseball and football, could you do it?
I love ball. I love being active, whether it's baseball or football.
What's the difference between baseball shape and football shape?
About 10 more pounds of muscle.
Can you play both football and baseball professionally indefinitely?
Nobody can do anything indefinitely. There will be a time when I say, well, I think I'm going to give this up and do this. But I couldn't tell you right now when that time is.
But it's safe to say you don't see Bo Jackson circa 1990 playing both Major League Baseball and in the NFL.
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Mystery question.
We'll have more with Bo Jackson at halftime. One more note before we say goodbye. Steve Horn of our staff has done some checking. Coming into today's game, 66 remaining replacement players are on NFL rosters.
Round, can't tell you this. Questions are over as to who the fastest man in the NFL is. This guy wins hands down. And for your interest, the last college football game that Bo Jackson played, the Senior Bowl after the 1985 college football season.
In a sense, both these teams are on the ropes. They're both 3-3, loaded with great personnel. But we have 2 coaches, Tom Flores of the Raiders, and Raymond Berry of the Patriots, asking what's wrong. They're looking for answers.
Yeah, well, they've got great skill position athletes on both sides, Don. But it doesn't make any difference if you have great skill position athletes if your line up front doesn't get it done. For the Raiders, their offensive line is injured and inexperienced. That's what hurts the Raiders. For the New England Patriots, frankly, Don, their offensive line is out of shape.
And there's some of the out of shape. Big House Moore checked in about 3-4-0 after the strike. Now we're set to go, though, and this kickoff is sponsored by Budweiser, the king of beers. Back deep for the Patriots is Irving Fryer at the 5-yard line. The Raiders special teamers take him down at the 22, and that's where the Patriots will go on offense, 1st and 10 with Tony Eason at quarterback. 6'4", 212 pounds in his 5th year out of Illinois. His running backs Tony Collins and Mosey Tutupu. This team, as Trump pointed out, averaging just 2.7 yards a carry with its regulars the last 2 regular NFL games. Fryer and Dawson will be on the 2 of the receivers. Also in the game, Stanley Morgan, who's coming out in the left flank. Offensive line with a rookie at right tackle with Big House Moore at left tackle. Sean Farrell, 62, is the best. He's a Pro Bowler, 1st year at New England. Sack. First pass attempt of the game. Coming on the blitz. Right up the gut was Matt Millen. And so the Raiders come calling quickly as they tried to burn Los Angeles deep with a long throw to Morgan, but he never got close to cocking and throwing.
There was no deception on this one. You see the linebackers, they split and go around each other, but that's an easy game that should be easily picked up by the New England Patriots. That's not real trickery.
A very, very high emotion level. You could sense it in the practices yesterday. A very important game. These teams 3-3. The loser's going to be in trouble in its division. Here is Eason firing again. He's got an open man, and turning upfield is Irving Fryer as he goes out of bounds at about the 31-yard line. Very close to a first down. A 16-yard gain on the play. Might be just short, though, Trump, where they're spotting the ball. It'll be third and tray with the Cardinals starting at the left corner. Veteran Mike Haynes, who had so many great years here in New England, also at the right corner. Eason on a short yardage throw, dips it up the middle and doesn't make it go. So they come out throwing even on 3rd and short. Not trusting a running game that's getting less than 3 yards a carry. On 3rd and 1, the Patriots throw it and come up empty. Long distance punter. Ready to hit it downfield, and Chris Woods is back. 3-year player in the Canadian Football League. He was a college teammate of Bo Jackson's at Auburn. Will we see Bo? He's on the sideline right near, ready to come out. Camarillo hits a long spiral, driving Woods back to the 11. Breaks it. Turns the corner on 2 Patriot defenders, and Chris Woods does a big job. It was Camarillo, Trump, who finally knocked him out after a 59-yard punt. And a very excellent return. Let's Camarillo come across and maybe save a much longer return.
Frankly, punters aren't paid to make tackles after returns, but the Raiders able to get outside on all the coverage. Ends up being a 30-yard return, and the Raiders start with good field position.
Now the Raiders open. Up back is the rookie Steve Smith. Marcus Allen is the I-back. 4 down linemen for New England. Straight ahead, Marcus Allen drives it across the 45-yard line, and his first down carry is good for 5. Raiders with Rusty Hilger at quarterback. Allen and Smith the runners to start the game. Tremendous speed and ability at the wide receiver position in Lofton Fernandez, and Todd Christensen led the NFL with 95 catches in '86. Offensive line has been suspect at best so far. Clay, a rookie, #1 draft choice, starting again at right tackle. Wilkerson's down. He's out with a leg pull. The other rookie started last week. Here's Marcus Allen on a second down and 5 play. Crosses midfield, and so the Raiders run the ball well, and looks like a first down it is.
That's a big play for the Los Angeles Raiders. Last week, Allen, 11 carries, just 29 yards. He'll be running against that defense all day. And watch Tippett, 56.
He'll be coming over Clay as best he can. The strength of the New England defense is in the back 7. Their down linemen aren't that good, particularly in comparison to what the Raiders put on the field, but their defensive backs and their linebackers are standouts. No score. First possession for the Raiders, 1st and 10. Hilger out pattern goes to Lofton, and he's out of bounds at the 41-yard line. First down throw, good for almost 7 for Los Angeles. Hilger's big, rangy, 6'4", 215 pounds, out of Oklahoma State, was a 6th-round draft choice. But as the Raiders point out, he needs a lot of support till he learns the position.
Came into this season with 51 pass attempts in the NFL. Very inexperienced position there for the Los Angeles Raiders, which is very unusual for a Raider team.
Has all the attributes to eventually be good, but he's not yet. End off to Marcus Allen on second down and a long 3. Allen takes it down to the 40. Garin Veras, the right end from Stanford, and Don Blackman, maybe the most underrated outside linebacker in the league. Underrated except here in New England. We're on the stop.
Marcus Allen does not like AstroTurf, and will tell anyone that asks him that. He's had 25 100-yard rushing days, only 1 on AstroTurf.
Bo Jackson loves it. That's where he got all his yards at Auburn. But right now the Raiders are moving the ball well on their first possession. There's no score. 3rd down and 2. Hilger takes a look. He gets time. He gets his man. First down Raiders to Lofton at the 22-yard line. So Hilger wisely checked all his receivers and then gunned it up the gut to James Lofton for a 17-yard gain and a Raider first down.
Raymond Claiborne in coverage, and Claiborne very good with that man-to-man bump and run coverage. Hilger gets time here, and this is the difference between an incompletion and a completion. Allows Lofton that extra 2 steps to get open. Hilger puts it on the money.
Raiders controlling this game early, although there's no score. Last week against Seattle, they were out of it early. Allen turns the corner, and Marcus Allen with that good upfield cut move takes it down to the 15-yard line. They'll spat him out of bounds at about the 16. On the sideline, a man with a great sense of self. He refers to himself like Louis the 14th used to, in the third person. Bo thinks this and Bo's doing that. Marcus Allen right now is hauling that pig and doing it well as he's down inside the 15 and down to the 14-yard line. Second down and 4. Carey good for only 1.5 yards. Tackled by Veras, the right defensive end, number 60.
This is the spot where Todd Christensen has historically for the Raiders been the key man. If the New England Patriots don't hold Todd Christensen up at this spot on the field, he will almost personally beat them himself.
Kenneth Sims is now in the game. Raiders go to a power set. Marcus Allen, the lone setback. They go to Allen, and look at the Patriots come hitting, and it looks like they stopped him on a 3rd and short try. But it'll be pretty much point blank for Barr and the field goal unit if he didn't get there.
From the
Steve
spot,
Nelson filled.
excuse me, from the spot they did not make it. A good job here by the New England Patriot defensive line getting penetration. 77 Ken Sims. He gets through the offensive line, and then Nelly, 57. Steve Nelson starts the tackle, and a host of others. 55 Blackman, 56 Tippett, 42 Ronnie Lepet.
Barr comes in. He's 5 for 9. As you see, 3 for 5 on this distance. This will be a 30-yarder. Mark Wilson holds. And the first points of the day are on the board, and the Raiders take a 3-0 lead on a 30-yard field goal by Chris Barr. So we'll be back with the Raider kickoff after this. Ready?
Why not?
Kickoff, a high spinner and not very deep. It's going to come down to a rookie from Michigan, Perryman. And he is a big back who powers his way out to the 25-yard line. Bob Perryman, a 230-pound runner, and the Raiders and the Patriots start up just like we like it.
The first of many confrontations.
I'll tell you, Trump, one of the things that Bosworth made after the game, he said he was disappointed. He expected the game against the Raiders to be a war. He said the mystique wasn't there, and he said you could see the confidence ebbing from the team when they fell behind 14-0.
Don, this is a brute force football team, the Los Angeles Raiders. In order for that to work, you need the guys up front. They have them defensively. Offensively, they don't.
Eason goes to the run, and Tony Collins slides ahead behind the right side of his line. First down carry from the 21 is good for 4.
On a huge matchup today for the New England Patriots is their rookie offensive tackle Bruce Armstrong that they give great compliments to against probably the best defensive lineman in the game, Howie Long, number 75. You run a lot of plays early in the game behind Armstrong to give him confidence, and that's what they did right there.
It's 3-0 Raiders. They scored on their first possession on a 30-yard Chris Barr field goal. Back to the run. This time Collins breaks it, gets out to the 35-yard line, very close to a first temperature about 60.
Let's see if New England rolls now if they're going to throw.
To the run they go, and a trap block busts open the Raiders for the moment. Ball carrier Tony Collins is straight ahead close to the 40 on a first down carry. He again got.
They're going to try to get Pete Brock back and healthy as quickly as they can.
This time the run is pretty much shut down, and from way back the back judge fires a flag in from 30 yards away. Tupu got the carry, didn't get much.
Called it on Sean Jones across a great nose man and Bill Pickell.
Very consistent in on virtually every play that's near him. And here again is Collins on the run. First down carry by Tony Collins, and Piquel makes the knockdown. Ball's advanced out close to midfield as the game clock is down now to 7:35 to play in the first quarter. Raiders lead it 3-0. And the offensive center for the Patriots calls the line blocking out to Stanley Morgan. Super fast. A big hit, though, put on him at the 46. Mike Haynes came up and stuck him. A gain of 3. And now while we have a moment, let's go to NFL here in New England. It's 6:40 and running in the first quarter. Down to 6:40 and ticking down as you see. The Raiders with a 30-yard field goal on their first possession by Chris Barr.
4 wide receivers for the Patriots. Bump and run everywhere by the Raiders.
3rd and a long 3. They go to the run, though, and here is Collins. He breaks it ahead for a first down and some more. As on a counter run, Tony Collins cuts back, gets 11 yards on 3rd and short, and the Patriots drive on to the 36-yard line of Los Angeles.
Watch 78 on the right side of your screen. Bruce Armstrong, a double pull, the guard and the tackle. Wooten 61 kicks out Sean Jones. 78 Armstrong makes a nice block, and Mike Haynes finally comes up with a tackle after an 11-yard pickup.
Mosey to Tupu, almost turns the corner. Matt Millen came across and saved a lot of yardage. Millen with a couple of big plays. You recall that blitz and sack on the
Hogan. Last week, people here in Boston didn't think that worked. So far, it's working today.
A lot more diversity in the New England offense today as they're moving the ball, trailing 3-0 in the first quarter. Eason's got plenty of room to run, and he can go. Coming up to get him. Open season when the quarterback runs is Stacy Turan, and Eason is down. It is open season, and the Raiders hunt the quarterback when he's up.
Well, the Patriots just activated Steve Grogan this week. He had a dead arm, bad nerve damage in his shoulder through Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and apparently is all right. You can see the neck brace. He has a pinched nerve in his shoulder. Eason's still down. Safeties from the Raiders. They're not choir boys. There doesn't appear to be anything dirty there. He rode him down. Looked like there might have been an elbow to the throat.
So Tony Eason is still down, and Grogan will run the offense. And
being looked at by the team doctors. It's his left arm. Watch as he goes down. Tries to stop the fall a little bit with his left arm. It looks like a great deal of pressure is put on that arm.
So the Patriots have lost 2 starters now early in the game. The center Brock went out, and now Eason goes out. And Grogan, whose arm went dead because of a pinched nerve in his neck warming up a couple of weeks ago, is into quarterback. And Collins responds and busts it on 3rd and 3 for yet another New England first down. Mike Haynes finally cut him, but the Patriots drive on, trailing 3-0 in the first quarter.
Another good pull by an offensive lineman from the Patriots. There goes Eason into the locker room. All these stadia have x-ray machines so they can give a rough estimate if there's anything broken. Bert Zarens, the team physician, the orthopedic man, is in there with him. We'll get a diagnosis as soon as we can.
Looked Trump like he had his right arm up, holding that gingerly.
Yeah, it sure
throwing
did.
Arm. 12th play of the drive. It's Collins again, and this time he is cut down at the 23-yard line. A gain of only 1 as Turan, the big strong safety, again came up to play the run and make the knockdown. Kansas City has now extended its lead over the Bears to 14-0. Bill Kenny is starting at quarterback, and he's thrown for 2 scores for the Chiefs. Pittsburgh, a surprise leader at Miami. Steelers have never won at Miami. Washington continues to lead Buffalo by 3. Houston has gone up in front 7-3 over Cincinnati. 2nd down and 9 for New England. Grogan's first throw is on the way into the end zone. Man is there. It's too high. Is there a marker? Receiver went down, but no flag. Irving Fryer, a burner off the right flank. Defended by Van McElroy, the free safety, and by Lionel Washington in the left corner.
That ball was well thrown. Just slightly high, but you have to expect that the first time Steve Grogan throws a ball in a long time. Doesn't look like that neck collar bothers him. This is close. This is very close. You can see that Irving Fryer outran Lionel Washington, and McElroy had to help out.
Grogan's a 13-year veteran from Kansas State, originally drafted in the 5th round when he came out. He spent a lot of hospital time, underwent off-season elbow surgeries, had knee surgery, shoulder surgery, and he takes a full lick from the Raiders. On the rush was Howie Long, a native New Englander.
Second sack for the Los Angeles Raiders. When Howie Long hits you, you find out if you can play for the rest of the day. Grogan stood that one. Sean Jones, 99, cleaned up. And Franklin in for a field goal.
He's a long-range hitter, Tony Franklin. This will be a 50-yard attempt with a barefoot kicker from Texas A&M. He's got the distance.
Whoa.
He hits it. So Franklin guns it through from 50 yards out, and the game is tied 3-3 with 3:07 to play in the first quarter. Offensive starters. The center Brock went out with a knee injury. We're told Trump a possible cruciate ligament injury, and Tony Eason, the quarterback, went out with what's diagnosed now as a sprained right shoulder.
Well, we thought it was going to be physical, but the hitting already taking its toll. And frankly, Don, part of my concern about the player strike of 24 days and being off for basically a month, even though the strike was 24 days, is the incident of being
down close to James Lofton over the middle. Third down throw. 3-3 game. 2:59 to play in the first quarter. They pick up the blitz. Now Hilger can't elude the pass rusher, and he's sacked at the 24-yard line. First sack of the day for the Patriot defense. The Raiders have one. 7-20 for 6 Raider turnovers. Marcus Allen on the toss. And Allen breaks it ahead to about the 32-yard line. On a 2nd and 15 play, Allen gains 7.
Oh, there was a tremendous block by Charlie Hanna, the left guard. When you see Marcus Allen pull out, watch the left guard cut somebody, cuts Garen Vera. See him falling right there. Excellent job by Bruce Davis, 79 on McGrew. Nice pickup. Nice pickup. Running game for the Raiders so far today working.
Yes, it is. That was about 8 where they actually spot the ball. It'll be 3rd down and 7. Shotgun snap, free football. Hilger takes off, and he pays at the 30. So you don't want your quarterback running in a game like this unless he's got to.
Don Blackman on the tackle. Looked like the snap was good from Mose Bar, the center, 72. Hilger may have been trying to sneak a peek at the, well, it's low. You got to put that one on Mose Bar, the center. Hilger probably does the smart thing. Just eat the football.
It's a 3-3 game, 1:26 to play in the first quarter. Stan Talley ready to punt the ball. First-year player from TCU and one of the most dangerous return men in the league. Irving Fryer is back at his 25-yard line. Big rush. Talley hits it long, but it's a low spiral. It'll come back at Los Angeles. And now Irving signals for a fair catch on terrific special teams coverage by Dokie Williams. He was 10 yards ahead of every other coverage man down there, and he forced Fryer to fair catch it.
Spectator. Steve Grogan calls his own plays. When Tony Eason is the quarterback, until last week, Steve Grogan calls the plays for him. Barry took it over last week. Now it's up to Grogan.
Eason went out with a right shoulder injury when he scrambled earlier in the quarter. It's 3-3. First quarter, 1:07 to play in it. Grogan, handoff, big gaping hole. Sean Farrell blast blocking, the Pro Bowl player from Penn State, who was the #1 draft choice at Tampa Bay and came here in a trade, a 7-yard gain.
Tell you what, we wondered about Steve Moore. Watch the job he does and the job Farrell does to open the hole. Farrell on Reggie McKenzie. Collins shoots up through there for a nice 7-yard pickup. The running game for the Patriots is well today too.
It's come back. We're down to 37 seconds to play in the first quarter. Clock's running. Second down, short yardage, nothing there as the Patriots are stacked. Raider backers jump into the gaps and plug. Nothing there as Mosey to Tupu, a 200. So to the other end of the field they go. Grogan, the veteran leader of this team, a crowd favorite, roundly cheered when he came out on the field despite the neck injury during the timeout. Now he's back to live action, ready to put it up. Raiders rush him and Grogan takes off.
Look at that. I'll tell you one thing.
First down.
You can fault Steve Grogan for a lot of things in his career. His courage has never been one of them.
First down for the Patriots. Now let's go back to NFL Live. Here as we go now, throw downfield to Irving Fryer a bit behind him. As you see, the ball skips off him on a first down throw. Grogan with good arm strength, warming up against the Jets before the game of actually October 21st it was. Grogan's arm went dead. He has a slightly bulging disc in his neck, which isn't what you want to play football
They
with.
thought his career was over. You can see Raymond Berry there on the sideline looking at the game plan, but Steve Grogan is calling his own plays. Number 12, Ramsey, the third quarterback. Of course, Eason still in getting x-rays on his right shoulder.
Eason was hurt scrambling in the first quarter. Second and long, second and 10. Over the middle throw. It's a completion with the ball to Stanley Morgan. He's heading all the way if he can break the corner. He's finally run out of bounds at the 24-yard line. The super fast Stanley Morgan from Tennessee. Now in his 11th year with a 38 run and catch, 38 yards.
Stanley Morgan has had very little success against his Los Angeles Raider football team. Mike Haynes, a former teammate, was the man in bump and run coverage. Stanley Morgan has never scored a touchdown against the Los Angeles Raiders, has just 5 catches in 3 games.
And as you see, he came all the way off the left flank and just outran the coverage coming across the field with his great speed. And so the Patriots hit a big play in this tie game. 3-3 pitch back Mosey to Tupu. Good block into Pupu. Takes on tacklers down to the 17-yard line. Matt Millen made the stop. And Mosey's down, usually not for long.
That was an excellent block by Bruce Armstrong, 78 on Howie Long. There was a little watch right there on the right. You see just behind him that Bruce Armstrong really pulls Howie Long to the ground. Long is supposed to be out there to help out, but 48 Lionel Washington, 55 Matt Millen there to make the tackle. I tell you, running the ball is as much attitude as it is execution, and today both teams have the right attitude to run the ball.
Patriots have their running game back, at least for the moment. Here's Collins beating the linebacker Rod Martin and getting inside the 15-yard line.
I don't think that's enough for a first, Don.
Stacy Turan ran him out of bounds. It's going to be drove down the field after forcing a New England punt. And Chris Barr hit a 30-yard field goal. And the Patriots came back. And Tony Franklin boomed one from 50 yards out to tie it. Pitch back to Tupu. Running at the right side of the Raider defense. A little age over there in Rod Martin, outside backer. McKenzie made the stop, the inside linebacker.
Reggie McKenzie did a great job. Caught to Tupu from behind. Collins, 33, the lead blocker. You see Farrell, 62, pulls. He does not get the block on McKenzie, and McKenzie just able to tick Mosey's foot. And they're going for it. Perriman, the big fullback, rookie fullback, comes in.
66,000 coaches calling for a fourth down go, and Perriman comes in to lead the blocking.
This is generally where you find out who the best offensive lineman is. I'd say behind 78, Bruce Armstrong.
Coming right with Tupu, the lead blocker. Going left with Tupu, the ball carrier. He's going to throw it. He's got a man open. Touchdown. Tony Collins on the payoff end. Nobody was near him. Mosey Trump almost shot put that ball.
That's Mosey's first pass, and he hits it in the end zone, and Collins makes the catch.
So the Patriots now looking to put up the 10th straight point. They've come back now from a 3-0 deficit to take a 10-3 lead with 13:07 to play in the first half. On Mosey to Tupu, the veteran from Southern California's first 3 lead. Patriots running the ball well, also Trump.
4-yard per carry average. That's good news for the Patriots.
Kickoff downfield, a tough one to handle, but it's taken by Vance Mueller, and he's in trouble back inside his 15-yard line.
Here comes Bo Jackson.
There's been a lot of jokes about Bo, but believe me when I tell you, he can play football. One of the greatest players ever to come out of college football. in the opinion of every sophisticated scouting combine report. Some people had him rated as the greatest running back that ever came into the game.
Dick Steinberg, the player personnel director of the New England Patriots, said he's never timed anybody faster in the 40-yard dash, and he's timed most of them.
At Auburn, they clocked him in 4.19. I don't think he could do that on a motorcycle, but they claim that Bo did, and Steinberg backs it up. Jackson's the eye back. And here's Bo Jackson with his first NFL carry. Bo hasn't lost a whole lot, has he? Bo Jackson takes it out across the 25-yard line. His first carry of the National Football League is good for 12 yards.
Bo last week, members of the press asked him about, didn't he have anything to say after the game? And he said, well, I don't want to say anything until I do something. Great speed. That'll surprise the New England Patriots, how you have him in your sights and then all of a sudden he's 2 strides down the field.
I tell you, he's a great kid. I'm on the Heisman Trophy committee and gotten to know him quite well since he won it in '85. He will make news in this league. Here he goes again. Bo Jackson. This time they shoot the gap, and Kenneth Sims, who was also a #1 player in the NFL when he came out of Texas, although he's yet to play like it. He makes the stop on Bo Jackson, who of course was the #1 player drafted 2 years ago, but he wouldn't sign with Tampa.
Nice play by Kenneth Sims, a guy that they have been hoping would emerge as a real superstar for his entire career. He realized that the year that Marcus Allen won the Heisman Trophy, you know who was second? Ken Sims.
That's right.
Yep.
Way back. Pitch back. Here comes Bo. He's going to get it a lot in. Bo Jackson holding on to the ball as the Patriots are hunting the football on a 2nd down and 11 play. Bo Jackson runs it ahead for a gain of about 6 yards. So Bo has 18 yards on 3 carries so far, including that 1-yard loss.
He almost loses this one. Watch it kind of come out of his arm when he tries to. Oh, you can see that Blackman, 55, almost knocks it out of his arm. Bo recovers, but it brings up 3rd down and about 4. Jackson comes out.
You got to remember now, Bo Jackson has not played in a game in 2 years. He hasn't been hit in 2 years. They have him officially for 3 carries for 21 yards. But on 3rd and 4, they go to the shotgun, and Hilger against a big rush stands in, loops it out. Marcus Allen has the ball, and he has a 1st down out to the 38-yard line. So Hilger does what has to be done. Looks like a young Sonny Jurgensen under that helmet.
Ernest Gibson, the man in coverage. I wouldn't put that tag on Hilger. Now, wait a minute. Be kinder to him than that. I mean, he does have kind of red hair, but let's stop there. Allen comes out.
If he
Bo
can keep
Jackson.
up with Sonny off the field, he might be a Hall of Famer.
Bo Jackson's back in the ball game, Don.
Jackson is the eye back. 232 pounds and maybe the fastest player in the NFL. It's 10-3. Patriots lead. Bo runs the ball, and Jackson spinning across the 40 on a 1st down carry does well to get just a couple of yards. Andre Tippett keying on him and knocks him down.
That looked like a big plus, even though he gained no yards. That sounded like an audible to me. Rusty Hilger called the audible at the line of scrimmage. Bo Jackson picked it up. He hasn't been in Los Angeles for a long time, but he's picked up the offense. That first step, lead block by 35 Smith. Andre Tippett just makes an all-pro play. He's an all-pro.
As a sophomore at Auburn, Bo Jackson averaged 7.7 yards a carry. As a junior, he injured a shoulder against Texas that required surgery. His right shoulder had to be wired after separation. Some thought that was one of the reasons he wanted to go to football. Hilger eludes and throws deep. Incomplete. He was going deep to Bo Jackson, and there's a penalty marker down.
No, that's a helmet.
It's a helmet and a towel.
Pulled Andre Tippett's helmet. That's his hobby now, playing baseball.
Marcus is in to catch the ball out of the backfield as it's 3rd down and about 8. Hilger looks. He stops, and Marker's down, and Hilger's down also back at the 36-yard line.
They refused the penalty.
Irving Fryer's back deep in this game that the Patriots lead 10-3. 8:40 to play in the 1st half. A booming punt by Talley, and Fryer fair catches it, and he hears the boos, and perhaps he should, although he had nobody back there to talk to him.
I don't think that's fair. They were trying to block that punt, Don, and there's nobody back there to block when you rush the punter. And I think most punt returners are instructed just fair catch it. 45-yard punt, no return. But the New England Patriots will get the ball when we come back.
Don Criqui with Bob Trumpy. Second quarter. Patriots with the ball in a 10-3 lead over the Raiders. New England going 1st and 10. Grogan at quarterback. Eason was hurt in the first quarter, shoulder injury. Here's Irving Fryer trying to break free, and does for the moment. Then he pays. Jerry Robinson comes up and shoulder pops him under the chin, almost forcing the ball free.
That's called a slip screen in the NFL, and Grogan threw it out there so quickly that 78, Bruce Armstrong, could not get out there in front. He's either faked it to Tupu. Now watch 78. He's got to get a block on Stacy Turan, but he really couldn't because the ball was out there so quickly. Pickup of about 3.
Eight minutes to go in the quarter as Grogan gives off to Collins, who's run very well and does again. On 2nd down and 7, Collins is out to the 26-yard line, where he's tackled on the play by Malcolm Taylor. See the Patriot possessions today. Key to the Patriot success has been their ability to run the ball, something they've been unable to do so far in earlier regular games, averaging 2.7 in their last 2 games with the regulars in action. Collins has run for 50 in 10 carries. And he caught the touchdown pass from Tupu. Grogan lofting the ball, and Jerry Robinson pounding on his thigh pads. Had he caught it, he was going in.
Stacy Turan, the man in coverage, looked like he grabbed the back of Beatty's shoulder pads here just as Grogan throws it out there. I think that's a good call. It looked like Robinson just tipped the ball ever so slightly, and that changed the trajectory, and Beatty couldn't make the catch, so Camarillo in the punt.
'88 Chris Woods is back again for the Raiders with 7:23 to play in the first half. Camarillo can hit it a long way. Former Pro Bowl punter. Wobble kicks the ball downfield, and Chris Woods will run it back for the Raiders. He's out to the 43-yard line, so Los Angeles gets good field position as they send their offense out. Bo Jackson's on the sidelines to start this drive.
Physical football game, and old Bo can still haul that pig.
Yeah, well, we expected it to be very physical, and frankly, Don, for both these teams off of last week's performance, I think this is what both coaches hoped, that there'd be a lot of things established at the line of scrimmage, an awful lot of hard hitting, and it really gets a team well, and both teams have done it very well.
Jackson not in now. 3 carries, 21 yards. Hilger going for the distance. Strong of arm, but inaccurate on that throw, and the coverage was good also. Lepet running stride for stride with Mervyn Fernandez, the former All-Canadian Football League star.
That's one of the things about the Los Angeles Raiders that has not changed. Regardless of coverage, they still try to get the ball down the field. Even in total zones, they'll throw it down there. They made that spot famous with Warren Wells and Cliff Branch.
Raiders scored off their opening drive when Chris Barr hit a 30-yard field goal. Then the Patriots came out to score on a field goal and on a 14-yard touchdown pass on 3rd and short to Tupu to Tony Collins, 14 yards out. Pitch back Mueller. Raiders think he's going to be a very fine player. Second-year running back out of Occidental. 215 pounds with breakaway speed. Game clock down to 6:55 to play. Tackled by Garin Veras, the right end 60.
He did an excellent job of avoiding the block, too. You can see that the Raiders have slowed here a little bit. They got to keep it up to speed, and of course that first down toss by Rusty Hilger now puts him in a spot where it's 3rd down and about 5. Last week the Raiders were awful in 3rd down conversions.
Raiders looking to get off the ropes. They were 8-8 last year, 3-3 this year. This is certainly not a 500 program the Raiders have, but it has been for the last season and a half. Hilger letting it go deep. He's not close.
Flag. We got a linebacker. Let me see. Hang on a minute till I can see the number here. No, we got a defensive back. I think it's McSwain holding up James Lofton underneath the pass. Yeah, it's against New England. 57, 55, Don Blackman. I thought it was a defensive back, but Don Blackman was trying to hold up Marcus Allen, not James Lofton. Marcus Allen got caught. Sometimes linebackers will do that. Sometimes they won't get caught.
Blackman's a top player. Went to the Pro Bowl last January. Much deserved in his 7th year out of Tulsa. Patriot linebackers are big and they can run. First down carry, not much there for Marcus Allen as he's cut down at the 45-yard line of New England. Game clock moving along here in the second quarter, approaching 6 minutes to play with the Patriots in the lead 10-3. Marcus Allen Trump's run the ball 8 times for 31 yards. A reminder to our viewers that we'll be selecting the Budweiser most valuable player for today's game at the conclusion of the game. 2nd and 9. Swing to Marcus. Open field. He makes a tackle or miss. And Marcus Allen doing it on his own gets a first down for Los Angeles. Fred Marion finally ran him down as Allen went one-on-one in the open field with a linebacker, and Marcus Allen won.
What a move by Marcus Allen. We'll watch Tippett. They don't really call this a blitz in New England. He's more like the 4th rusher. He's there to pressure the quarterback, and then he starts chasing Marcus Allen, and he is there to assist on the tackle. Well, that's an all-pro move by Marcus Allen. Just stop that defensive back right in his tracks.
Big gainer and a first down for Los Angeles. Raiders trail by 7 in the second quarter. I set. Marcus Allen. That upright slashing running style carries him inside the 35-yard line, where inside backer Lawrence McGrew, a teammate of Marcus's at Southern California, tackled him.
Allen is one of those tireless players. And when you see him before you get the game, you'd say, that can't be Marcus Allen. He doesn't look big enough to be Marcus Allen. But he's got those moves that nobody can coach.
Here in Foxborough, it's 10-3. Patriots with the lead, Raiders with the ball. 2nd down and 7 coming up. Pitch back, Marcus Allen. Cut at the 31-yard line. Gain of only about 2 yards. Knocked down by Roland James, the strong safety, and also by Lawrence McGrew.
McGrew, a great fill from the inside. You hope those inside linebackers can slide along the line of scrimmage and assist on the tackle. The defensive linemen try to strip the interference so the linebackers can get there, and that time McGrew from the inside out was there to assist with Marion on the stop.
Patriots come in with 11-5 season in '86, defending division champions in the AFC East, even though they were last in the league in running.
You know, Christensen hasn't caught a pass yet, Don.
That's right. 3rd down throw. James Lofton has the first down and more as he's down inside the 15-yard line, an 18-yard gain, so twice now to keep drives alive. Hilger has looked over the middle and gone to James Lofton. You'll remember that 17-yarder that set up the first score of the game, the field goal. And now a throw to Lofton on 3rd and long, good for 18 yards, another Raider first down.
You'll see Lofton cross at the top of the screen. There's Christensen, 46. You just see Lofton's legs. And basically what they're trying to do is just run through man-to-man coverage here, try to pick somebody off.
Now the Raiders have to try to get it in. Bo Jackson's in the backfield. He's the tailback. The eye set.
Whoops.
Broken play as Bo was looking for the pitch. Hilger couldn't get it to him and wisely ate the ball rather than put it up.
Hilger did not get that ball cleanly from the center. Looked like he pulled out a little too quick. And in doing so, almost lost the football. Bo was expecting it. 42 Lepet there to make the tackle. Watch what happens. This ball, he got it cleanly, but it looked like he didn't know what the play was.
Now we're informed that Tony Eason has completely separated his right shoulder. He could be gone a long time. This is the 10th play of the drive for the Raiders. Bo Jackson dips in, dips out, takes it on, turns the corner, and Jackson down the sideline, takes it inside the 10-yard line, but they're going to spot him out of bounds at about the 13.
Don, 4 guys missed him and had shots at him, clear shots at him. Now watch what happens here. He gets up inside, stops, comes back outside. Now watch him outrun these 2 guys.
You don't coach this.
And then he's still able, well, he steps out right there. That was impressive. That's a big man with a lot of speed and a great deal of control of his body.
Bo can do some damage. Now, Marcus Allen and Steve Smith are the setbacks in an open backfield. Wide receivers to either side on 3rd and 10. Hilger gets time. He's running out of it. He throws to the end zone. Too high and incomplete. Marcus Allen went high for the ball, but a good defensive play. And now they're starting up after it's over.
Ronnie Lepet just kicked Marcus Allen. I don't see any flags on the field either.
We'll be watching this again.
This ball is too high. Allen still tries to make the reception. And see if we can see the end of this. Look at there. Well, it looks like Allen grabs a hold of his face mask, so
no harm, no foul.
6 of one, half dozen of the other. Boys will be boys.
Now Chris Barr's back on the field, looking to make it closer. It's a 10-3 game. Barr hit from 30. You remember, this will be a 31-yard attempt. He's got it. And the Raiders move to within 4 with 2:34 to play in the first half. It's 10-6 New England. Off now by the Raiders, who trail 10-6 after the second Chris Barr field goal of the day. And here comes Irving Fryer. Cut down on a good special teams tackle by the Raiders at the 17-yard line. Doki Williams has played excellently covering kicks. Forced a fair catch earlier. Now makes the tackle. Steve Nelson, the veteran inside linebacker for New England, he's troubled by a shoulder injury. Eason has gone out, the starting quarterback. He went out in the first quarter running the ball with what's now been diagnosed as a totally separated right shoulder.
That's his throwing shoulder, too.
You tell me how long that is. You've gone through that.
Well, there's no telling how long that is. I mean, some people recover quicker than others, so it's going to be Steve Grogan, Ramsey, and of course Doug Flutie is here in New England.
It's usually surgery and a pin, though, isn't it?
Sometimes, not always, sometimes, Don.
Handoff, not much there for Tony Collins as he's cut down at the 19-yard line with 2:17 to play. Howie Long knocked him down. Our producer today for NBC Sports is Glenn Adamo. Our director, Andy Rosenberg. The executive producer of NBC Sports is Michael Weissman. The coordinating producer of NFL football, Ted Nathanson. We're coming to you from New England. It's a perfect day. Temperature 60 degrees. Clear and sunny. And with 2 minutes to go in the first half, a break in the action with the Patriots leading 10. Bo Jackson giving the Raiders plenty in his first game in the NFL and his first football game in 2 years. Averaging over 6 yards a rush. Quick out. Grogan throws. Stanley Morgan in open field. And he turns the corner, and now Stanley Morgan's in a foot race and run out of bounds as he crosses the 35-yard line. They'll knock him out at the 39. Almost the distance. It turns out to be a 21-yard gainer. And again, Trump, they bring Morgan over the middle. He just outraces the coverage when he gets the ball.
Absolutely. He's intended to go up that side of the field, but just keeps cutting back. Now watch the block that Irving Fryer has on 57 Jerry Robinson. It's legal. Gives him another 2 or 3 yards.
Just legal.
Just legal. Now Morgan's got such
big numbers.
He's got such great speed, Don. You try to get him the ball as many times as you can.
Got 84 for over 1,400 yards last year. Now to Tupu, who, believe it or not, if you join us late, threw for the game's only touchdown and a third down option play. Threw to Tony Collins. Runs the ball and not very far. Game clock down to 1:35 and running.
You can see Steve Grogan out there playing coach. He's trying to go over the game plan. Just activated this week. He's calling his own plays.
At halftime, we go to NFL Live, and they'll have an exclusive interview with the much talked about Bo Jackson. Enjoying his hobby. Lofted ball. Collins can't get to it. It's picked off. Coming down with the ball was that Lyndon King, a huge outside linebacker, a former San Diego Charger. 7-yard return, so Lyndon King at 6'5", 250 pounds, gets way back downfield and makes his biggest play as a Raider.
First interception of the season for Lyndon King, and Steve Grogan doesn't quite throw this ball hard enough. You see he gets hammered. And watch, Lyndon King really does a good job of stretching to get this ball. The pass was intended for Tony Collins, 33 out of the backfield. And the first turnover of the day for the Los Angeles Raiders. First turnover of the day for either team.
Wide to the right goes great speed Mervyn Fernandez. At the top of your screen, the all-pro player in Canada. Hilger looks. It's coming to Allen. Throws to the wrong side. It's incomplete. It'll be second down and 10 right from midfield. Clock, as you see, stopped with 1:04 to play in the first half. 10-6 New England.
James Lofton was open on that play, about 6 or 8 yards inside of Marcus Allen. If you're Tom Flores, you put that one in your memory bank, come back with the same formation and just throw to a different guy.
Trump, one of the New England coaches, said at practice yesterday, what we need today or tomorrow is Tony Eason to pitch a complete game, but he was gone in the first quarter with his separated shoulder. Grogan's been in. Hilger working at quarterback for the Raiders, and he paid back at the 38-yard line. Garen Veras, an oncoming star defensive end in his third year out of Stanford. Makes the sack. Huddling and aligning at their leisure, running the game clock down and out if they can. This is third down and long. Marcus Allen is cut down at the 37-yard line.
Garen Veras again.
Patriots stop the clock now with 24 seconds to play in the first half. They'll get it back on a punt.
Actually, there's no
punt hit downfield. There's a penalty marker down as the ball is fair caught at the 26-yard line by Irving Fryer, but they might have roughed the punter, Stan Talley.
Yeah, they ran into the punter.
Picked the flag up. It was down. Now they're going to.
There's no jeopardy in this. There's no jeopardy in this. Mosi Tatupu, number 30, is the guy who runs into Stan Talley, but that's the only reason you take the timeout, Don. Get your punt rush team in there, try to block the punt, and if you get the penalty, there's 16 seconds left. Not much you can do about it. You try to aim for a spot 5 yards out in front of that punter, but the up front blocker, Matt Millen, just able to, he catches that flag in the air.
But the game clock is down to 16 seconds to play in the first half. It's a 10-6 game. New England's in the lead. Patriots took a 3-0 advantage, or the Raiders did. Patriots came back to tie at 3-all. Went ahead 10-3, and a second Chris Parr field goal has brought the Raiders to a 4-point deficit. Hard to believe anybody that big can be that fast. You consistently marvel at it every time he runs. And he's an effortless runner. He's like Eric Dickerson, no noise. Whoosh.
Just runs through tacklers, too.
Patriots only have 135 yards in the first half.
How deep will this pass be thrown, do you think?
New England has two safeties playing center field. Hilger going to let it go. Fires up the middle. Christensen open in the zone. Takes it ahead. Down to the 37. A quick timeout called now by the Raiders with just 7 seconds left. They have to get closer for Barr, though.
And you know what they were trying to do there? You saw Christensen, when he caught the ball, look around. He was trying to lateral it to Marcus Allen. Now watch when he catches this ball. He's looking for somebody to lateral it to, and it's Marcus Allen, the guy he wants to. Watch him look around. He was going to lateral it to somebody, but he has the presence of mind the minute he hits the ground. Timeout. So there's 7 seconds left.
If the clock was down to, say, 2 seconds, he could kneel down and stop the clock. They could kick a field goal. Man in possession of the ball can call timeout at any time.
That is correct. That was Christensen's first catch of the day. He's the Raiders' leading pass receiver. Do you throw this one in the end zone, or do you try something tricky? Let's give it a shot in the end zone.
New England would try a field goal from this distance. They might just gone a quick out to the far side. They've stacked 3 receivers there. Hilger's going to run it now. Fires and makes the connection. 1 second. Clock out. We'll see if they give him a
they
sound. They're
stopped
saying
it.
1 second.
Let's see what the referee does. He's motioning
Giving him a
1 second.
Well done by the Raiders, and they're in position now for a third Chris Barr field goal try.
Operator, put 1 second
Hilger's
back on
down.
The clock. 1 second.
Gene Barth saying 1 second. See, that's why it used to be a rule that one guy could call a timeout, and he was usually the quarterback. But in the latter stages of a half or a game, when the receiver is catching the ball down the field, it's smart to throw the ball to the guy who can call the timeout, Christensen, other than the quarterback. Because the minute he catches and hits ground, timeout, and they get the 1 second in, and free play here for the Los Angeles Raiders.
Chris Barr will try a 42-yarder. Spins it up, but he's going to be wide right. And so as time expires in the first half, Barr has his first miss of the day after hitting his first 2 tries. And the Patriots go to the locker room holding to a 4-point lead. It's a 10-6 game. A first half that has seen limited offense, not a whole lot of yards. But the debut of Bo Jackson in the NFL has been impressive. 6 carries, 31 yards. His first run was good for 12.
Don, it'll be interesting to see what the injuries.
Then when he announced that he would also play football this year, calling it his hobby, the criticism began. And whether coincidence or not, in the second half of the year, Bo Jackson hit only 4 home runs and batted under 200. On the eve of his debut with the Raiders against the Patriots, I spoke with him up in Foxborough yesterday.
If I sit up and worry just about what people think about Bo or what people say about Bo, I would be letting them get the best of me. And I go out and live my life for Bo, and I don't let things like that bother me. I used to when I was younger, but I've grown past that stage now. I've learned to accept criticism and let it be at that.
What criticism that you've heard do you think is valid, and what do they say about you that you just know isn't true?
Everything, anything from A to Z, you name it, making accusations and so forth and so on, just things off of the top of their head that I guess they're just saying they're trying to tick me off or so forth and so on, but I don't let that happen.
Why do you think so many people seem to resent you?
Jealousy, prejudice, I don't know.
Do you think there's any sort of racial aspect to this at all?
No. Prejudice probably meaning the same thing as jealousy, simply because they can't do it or they want to and they don't have the ability or whatever, that type of prejudice.
As you struggled at the plate, was there ever a time when you felt embarrassed on a baseball field?
I've never been embarrassed on the baseball field because I know that there's millions of people that would like to be out there in my shoes. Well, not only my shoes, but just being on the baseball field, period. I saw my first year in the major leagues as a learning experience. And to make a long story short, I think I did well, speaking for myself, as far as the little amount of baseball that I've had in the past, and coming in and hitting over 20 homers and 50 ribbies. I think I did great.
You were telling me earlier, when you grow up, people exhort you to do one thing. Then you become successful, and all of a sudden the tables are turned.
Yes, it's like growing up in Alabama. There isn't too much to do there. People are always saying, you need to get out and do something to make yourself better, get a job, don't sit around here and be a bum for the rest of your life. Get out and meet your nice girl, which I've done. I'm married to a beautiful doctor, name's Linda, and I have a beautiful son. He goes at the nickname Spud. And I've done that, and now people, they sit up and they criticize me because, well, he is up there on top and he's doing good, and now he don't have time for us. It's not that. My job and my family comes first, and it will always be that way.
For what it may be worth, it seems to me that Jackson is genuinely popular among his Raider teammates. Yesterday, several of them went out of their way to tell me that they regard him as a fine addition to the team and that they like him very much personally. We'll continue with NFL Live.
Vance Mueller runs it back and very well for the LA Raiders as he's across the 40, hit from behind. He's driven forward another 4 yards, and that's where the Raiders will go on offense. 1st and 10 at their 44-yard line.
And I noticed too that Bo Jackson is going to start in the backfield to begin the second half. I think Tom Flores was very, very smart in starting Bo Jackson off slowly. Just a couple of plays, but Hilger called an audible in that series when Bo Jackson was in there, and Bo Jackson picked it up. So now it's basically turn him loose.
Jackson in the eye set. That's him, number 34, 6'1", 232 pounds. Jackson breaks it again and takes on tacklers, and Bo Jackson on a 1st down carry gets 8 or 9.
You see Ronnie Lepet dive out of the way of Bo Jackson. I mean, when he gets turned upfield, Don, at 6'1", 235 pounds with his foot speed. 35, Steve Smith is the lead blocker, does a good job. But watch Bo Jackson make Lepet just dive at his feet. That's where you tackle big guys or you end up on a stretcher.
There is an array of photographers here memorializing Bo Jackson's first game. They're here from everywhere. Birmingham, Alabama, maybe Birmingham, England. Sidelines just covered like a Super Bowl with people taking pictures. As we look at the halftime numbers now, not a whole lot of offense. Defense is dominated, pretty even on the total yardage.
But I think the rushing yardage for both these teams is critical. Last week, the Patriots averaged just 2.9 yards a carry, and last week the Raiders had just 44 yards total rushing. So those are very good numbers for both teams in the first half. Jackson on the sideline, Marcus Allen in. He's the receiver.
Jackson with 8 carries, 39 yards. Mueller turns the corner, loses the ball. It's free on the field. The Patriots have it. Did they recover in bounds?
I don't know if they did or not. Looks like they did. They got to have control of the football. They got it. Darren Barris is out there to make the recovery. Art McNally, I believe, is here.
So the Patriots get the ball and they go 1st and 10, leading the game 10-6, their first possession of the 3rd quarter. Referee is Gene Barth. Grogan, long distance. Collins makes the rebound. Takes a strike on the first play of the second half for New England as they move the ball inside the 30-yard line of the Raiders with a 25-yard pass play.
Watch how close Rod Martin is to making the interception. This is right over the outstretched hands of Rod Martin. Collins with great concentration. Van McElroy is there also. That's a big play for New England to start this second half.
Real big. They lead 10-6 to the Patriots as now Collins looks for running room, and there's not much there as he's down to the 28-yard line. Might have got
for the rest of the season. Good numbers.
There's a relief pitcher. Grogan is 4 of 8 for 88 yards. Irving Fryer is caught and dropped. The wily veteran Rod Martin, outside backer, shot the gap, then stayed at home waiting for Irving Fryer to run right into him.
Looks like there's another injury too. Sean Farrell is going to walk off something. He sprained his ankle or his knee.
Now he's jogging off.
I'm convinced.
How about that guy Houston had in the strike? A guy 5'7", 245, a linebacker. Eugene Seal. He could bench press 570. Throw up the middle. Open receiver Stanley Morgan. He's inside the 15-yard line and down to the 14 as the Patriots challenge on a couple of big hits on the throws by Grogan. Had a 21-yard gainer following the 25-yard throw to Tony Collins.
Van McElroy finally on the tackle. This is a rare zone by the Los Angeles Raiders. You can see him dropping off. They're covering area, not man. Morgan just between the seam, the defensive backs and the linebacker. Grogan finds him easily. 21-yard pickup.
It's been a big change in the Raider defense, Trump. Going more and more to zone. They used to cover the wideouts just with one-on-one coverage from great cornerbacks. Now Collins on a straight ahead run off the trap block up the middle, and he takes it down to the 9-yard line. Kansas City with a 7-point lead over the
numbers on Tony Collins today. 13 carries, 59 yards. Last week the Patriots ran for a total of 79 yards. That's working today.
Grogan on 2nd and 5 into the end zone. It's too low and incomplete at the 4-yard line. Game clock down to 10:30 in the 3rd quarter. Score New England 10, the Raiders 6.
Looks like Steve Grogan is dressed up for Halloween, going as Count Dracula.
4 wide receivers in the game. 3rd down comes up. 3rd and 5 at the 9-yard line. Grogan timing throw way too high. It's incomplete and the field goal unit will come out. Looking at Derwin Williams coming across the middle on a post pattern.
Sam Seal was the man in coverage. That was matchup all over the place, man on man. The Raiders are hoping to get pressure. You can see Howie Long double teamed in the middle. Grogan throws it just a little bit high for Williams.
He wanted to make him jump to catch it. He didn't want to risk an interception because even with the missed pass, they still have a chance for points now. Franklin's hit from 50 today. Now he spins one up and good. And with 10:22 to go in the 3rd quarter, the New England Patriots open up a 7-point lead, 13-6. Tony Franklin rather just popped through his 2nd field goal to extend the New England lead to 13-6. Now running it back is Mueller, who you remember fumbled the ball his previous carry after he caught it and ran it. And that was turned into the points by Franklin. Tackle on special teams by linebacker Ed Williams of New England.
You know, that last field goal by Tony Franklin, he began the season for the Patriots 1 out of 5 and has hit his last 5 field goals in a row. So he's had a real turnaround. The strike helped him. There he is, the barefooted kicker. Started kicking barefooted because he had a sprained ankle back in high school. Has never been able to kick with a shoe on since.
He was number 1 in the NFL in scoring last year with 140 points, hit 32 of 41 field goals. And got off to that bad start, but he's come back after the 1-5 field goal start. He's now 5 for 5 in his last attempts. Here's a throw downfield and a big catch. All guts over the middle into the teeth of the defense. Good for 23 yards is Marcus Allen. That's big time. A lot of guys would short arm that.
Fearless, absolutely fearless. And of course, it's interesting too. Watch this. He knows he's going to get hit in there. Great concentration on the football. Marion takes a swipe at him. Finally, McGrew makes the tackle, and when Marcus Allen motions to the sideline for somebody to come in now, it's Bo Jackson taking his place.
You can't applaud a play any more than that one. That takes a lot of heart. Something that Marcus Allen has in abundance. Bo Jackson's the eye back, and he has the ball. Jackson takes a stick as Kenneth Sims, another high-priced #1 draft choice from some years back, pops Bo for a 2nd time today. I talked to a pro scout at halftime, Trump, and I asked, who would you compare Bo Jackson to? I was talking to Bob Howay, and he said you can't compare anyone else. There's never been a guy this big, this fast that I know of.
Yeah, well, look at this play by Kenneth Sims. Puts his helmet right between the 3 and the 4 and introduces one Bo Jackson to the NFL. Bo comes out. Marcus Allen back in.
Hilger. Long ball.
Whoops. Lofton ran the out. I guess it was supposed to be an out and up. Didn't go up. Miscommunication there. Lofton new to this offense. Hilger new to this offense.
We talked about the array of photographers lining the sideline. There's some of them. Bo Jackson makes news. When he first went with the Kansas City Royals, he put a sign over his locker. Don't be stupid and ask any football questions. A teammate changed that to read as the season went on. He started to strike out a lot. Don't be stupid and ask any baseball questions. But as Bo told Bob at halftime, here's a long ball downfield. Intercepted by New England. Raymond Claiborne, a Pro Bowl cornerback, runs it back and crosses the 40. And so now the Raiders, plagued by turnovers on their possessions here in the 3rd quarter.
And a real chance.
Collins runs the ball straight at the Raiders and gets it out to about the 43-yard line. The interception by Raymond Claiborne was the 30th of his career. He's the all-time leader among the Patriots. He was a #1 draft choice 10 years ago out of Texas. Pro Bowl player.
There's Raymond on the sideline. Hasn't lost a step. That's why he can continue to play in the NFL.
See the game clock down to 8 minutes and running in the third quarter. 13-6. New England with the lead in the ball as Howie Long left early. We'll see if they drew him off.
Now you see what the Raiders do. They move Long all over the defensive line until they can find the weak spot. They've determined
75 defense, encroachment. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
encroachment means contact before the ball is snapped. It's strange too. Howie is standing there looking right at the football. It was dead in front of him and he still jumps off sides. But that first step he has, and watch right over the center. Those centers will cheat too. You can't trust them. They'll go whoo. They'll flex their fingers. They'll move a muscle in their arm. They'll do anything to draw you off sides. They're tricky. They're really tricky.
Howie was born in nearby Somerville, Mass. Grew up in Milford. Went to Villanova. Drafted in the second round by the Raiders. Running with the ball is Tutupu. It's interesting, Trump, that in the year that Howie Long came out, the Patriots debated long and hard on whether to draft him or a running back, and they went for Tony Collins ahead of him.
I tell you what, you look at this defensive line with Long out of Villanova, Pickell out of Rutgers, and Sean Jones out of Northeastern. None of them ever had spring practice. None of them. So all three of these guys were kind of a surprise in the NFL. They're all second-round draft picks, and that's the best three-man defense in the league.
Best down linemen, Long, Pickell, and Jones. Front three for the Raiders. On 3rd and 3. Throw and a catch. First down. Irving Fryer fighting to hold on to the ball. He does and shows it to the crowd. 7-yard gain. Last year, Irving Fryer was shaken up in a game. He was taken out, and then there was mystery. Details were sketchy after that. He was driving his expensive car outside the stadium, reportedly listening to the game on the radio on a perfect day. One car accident, he hit a tree.
Must have been a big one.
Next time he played, he was shaken up and taken out, and somebody from the stands yelled, "Get his keys." Pitch back to Tupu.
Matt Millen on the tackle there is right.
Lionel Washington, one cornerback for the Raiders. Mike Haynes is the other. Washington was beaten deep twice by Seattle last week. Grogan hands to Tupu, both arms on the ball, and Mosey on a 2nd down and 8 play advances the ball to about the 41-yard line of the Raiders.
Bill Pickell was the main tackler. The two safeties of the Los Angeles Raiders, Stacy Turan and Van McElroy. These guys are arrows, bullets, missiles. When somebody grabs a hold of a ball carrier, you see blurs coming into the picture. They're the two safeties. They try to, when the guy is held up, they try to make the hit to jar the ball loose. Those two guys are dangerous.
They are. Impact hitters. Stacy Turan's tackle, a clean one of Tony Eason, knocked Eason out for the game in the first quarter and maybe for the season.
Fumble.
Grogan recovers. Loops it out. Good lead. He's got a man. Irving Fryer. And Fryer is taken down at the 9-yard line. A 32-yard gain.
Mike Haynes was the man in coverage. That's making something out of nothing. Ron Fellows was the man in coverage on Irving Fryer, and Fryer with blazing speed.
That's Mike Haynes.
Now watch this ball. It's a low snap from Guy Morris. Grogan has to stop, pick it up, still stays with the primary receiver. Fryer outruns Ron Fellows, makes the catch. Haynes makes the tackle. Big pickup, New England.
Fryer now with 4 catches for 57 yards, and the Patriots, who lead by 7, challenging for more. 1st and goal from the 9. Grogan, lots of time. He bought some with the play fake. Now he lobs it in. There's a man open, but it's too high. It'll be 2nd down and goal.
And 1 interception.
13-6. Patriots lead. 2nd and goal from the 9. Here's the blitz. They go to the run. Collins weaves into the Raider defense and gets only 2. He's down to the 7. Reggie McKenzie made the stop. 54. Jerry Robinson, Matt Millen, Reggie McKenzie, and Rod Martin backing the line for the Raiders.
Conditioning beginning to take a toll here, I do believe. This Raider defense has been on the field almost the entire second half.
They have.
And the defense always gets more tired because it takes more energy to react, which is defense, than it does offense to act.
Raiders on the ropes right now. After a 3-0 start, they're 3-3, have lost their last 3 games, and all 3 losses were to AFC Western rivals. Grogan in trouble. Flag down. Grogan fires and wisely throws it away.
Looks like that initial flag down was holding. I think it's going to be against the Patriots. Yeah, it is. Steve slow to get up, even with his injury and his Dracula collar there.
They're waving off the penalty from the Raiders sideline. Decline it. Take the down.
Illegal use of the hands, a shot to the face, 66 offense, penalty refused, 4th down.
That's Paul Fairchild. He's just corrected himself. Sean Farrell, 62. So Franklin in again. Try for his 6th straight. Just takes some guts to scramble around out there when he's not really the healthiest of individuals in this stadium today, but
Tony Franklin has been on target both times today. Once, as you saw, from 50 yards out, his longest as a Patriot. 26-yarder is up and good. Now the Raiders have a large hole to dig out from as they trail in the game 16-6 with 2:53 to play in the 3rd quarter. Raiders get the ball when we come back. With a totally separated shoulder. Trumpy, you've been down that road.
yeah, I slept sitting up for 3 weeks with a separated shoulder several years ago. That is no fun. You can't even yawn without it hurting.
Spin it to Mueller. 25, 30, and out to the 32-yard line. Rod McSwain on the tackle for New England. So now the Raiders send out their offense, and they need big plays.
Is run by the Raiders as opposed to the Patriots, and that's a direct result of 2 turnovers by the Raiders. This is a must drive.
Yes, it is. Raiders have 2 of the best receivers in the league flanked to either side, but the quarterback unable to get the ball to them deep so far. He's looking deep. Now looking to buy time, and he throws it away wisely somewhere in the direction of Fernandez, so it's not grounding.
I don't understand why the Raiders would do that. They came with 2 tight ends for pass protection, and they had 2 people out in pass routes. They had Lofton on one side, Fernandez on the other, so the quarterback has got 2 people to choose from. That's it. If one's not open, you go to the other. He's not open. Well, you got to make something up. Tries to get the ball out here to Marcus Allen. Underthrown.
Mark Wilson walking the sidelines with a golf visor on. Looks like he's going to go from the ball yard to the first tee. He's not warming up. $1 million a year player. Pitch back goes to Marcus Allen. He's out to the 37-yard line. Bruce Davis exchanging pleasantries there with linebacker Lawrence McGrew.
There's Wilson on the sideline. Came in relief last week. Frankly, his numbers weren't too bad. 17 of 27, 173 yards, had 2 touchdowns, but also threw 2 interceptions. At some point, the Raiders have to make up their mind that Hilger's their guy. They can't keep coming in with relief quarterback help from Mark Wilson.
Dave Casper told me one time the Raiders have always had the philosophy there's 2 kind of players you don't want. One that does everything he's told and one that does nothing he's told. Wilson tends to follow directions to the absolute. Here's a long throw downtown, and Dokie Williams can't run under it.
I see nothing in between, Don. It's either run Marcus Allen or it's go for the distance. Dokie Williams is the receiver. He's got Rod McSwain 23 in coverage. He looks right back into the sun. That's got to be an absolutely perfect throw in order for the Raider receiver to catch it. And it seems to me that Todd Christensen's the guy left out. He is their leading receiver coming into this ball game. Wilson is a guy who gets the ball to Christensen. I look for Wilson soon.
Raiders started the day 4th in their division, 2 games behind divisional leader San Diego. Chargers at home later to play the Cleveland Browns. Scheduling's tough for the Raiders. They stay on the road next week. They'll be going into Minneapolis to play the tough Vikings at the Humphrey Dome.
Get him the ball. Todd Christensen with 95 catches last season, over 100 yards in receiving last week. You got to get the ball to this guy.
Unless you can't get it to him. Grogan. First back through is Tony Collins, and the Raiders stuff it. Second down and 8 coming up. Pete Brock, long time and standout center for the Patriots. Troubled by a knee injury. He went out in the first quarter, as did quarterback Tony Eason. He's talking with the team physician Bert Zarens.
Looks like a very serious conversation, too. Not talking about the fall
I hope it's not one of those
foliage.
conversations like, this is what we got to do tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Mass General. Throw and a catch. Big time play, and again Stanley Morgan beats the corner over the middle of the field, and Morgan's out to the 48-yard line. A 23-yard gain. Morgan's eaten up the secondary. A 21-yarder.
Mike Haynes is down. Looked like he got hit by one of his own men. Morgan and a foot race with Mike Haynes. Morgan wins this, but a great release off the line of scrimmage. Gets inside that man-to-man coverage. Haynes makes the tackle, and it looks like Irving Fryer, number 80, hit his ankle.
16-6. New England's in the lead. Game clock ticking down to 20 seconds in the third quarter. Grogan looking deep again, lets a rip. Man is there, and here's a connection to Irving Fryer. He's inside the 30 and down to the 28-yard line.
Don, let me tell you what this is a product of. The amount of time the Raiders defense has just been on the field in this second half. When they had a must drive, they basically went with 3 plays and out. That's a 28-yard pickup by Irving Fryer.
That's the end of the third quarter, with the Patriots getting a standing ovation, leading the game 16-6. We'll be right back after these messages from your local station. To a 16-6 lead as we start the fourth quarter at Foxborough. Grogan to Collins. They might run it a lot in the fourth quarter, looking to run that clock down, keep it away from the Raiders. Big story since Grogan's come in. He's hit the downfield throws. Hilger, his counterpart with the Raiders, has been unable to get the ball downfield to his wideouts.
Grogan calling his own plays. He's motioning to the sideline. I want Irving Fryer in here. Bring him in here. Grogan's in control. And when he plays, he throws the ball down the field as a quarterback. When he calls plays for Tony Eason, he's very conservative in his approach.
Second down and 8. Throw, and Lynn Dawson off his hands, the big tight end. They don't go to him often. He appreciates it when they do, but that was too far out in front to catch him. Raiders in the third quarter. Not much happened. Missed field goal, a fumble, an interception, and a punt. Plenty happened, really.
In that third quarter, Rusty Hilger was 1 for 5 for 23 yards and an interception. That's why this defense of the Raiders is beginning to wear down. They faced an awful lot of plays in that third quarter. And frankly, the Raiders are still in this ball game.
Yeah, but if they hit a field goal here and they're already in Franklin range, that would mean the Raiders need two touchdowns and 2 extra points to win it. They've not been in the end zone yet. Downfield, Fryer, touchdown. Irving Fryer just beats the Raiders secondary. Over the middle pattern, change of pace, accelerates, and Grogan lofts it right into his hands. Grandmother could have caught that one.
Boy, that was room service. Laces up on the right foot. 25-yard reception between Ron Fellows and Stacy Turan. Great pass protection by the New England Patriots. And if you don't get pressure on the quarterback when you're playing man-to-man, eventually somebody with better foot speed is going to outrun one of your guys. That's what Fryer did with Ron Fellows.
Franklin on the field now. 14-10 to play in the ball game, and Franklin hits another. And all of a sudden, the Raiders. Mark Wilson still on the sidelines, and right now with the Patriots, their offense fully up to speed today and opening up a 23-6 lead. Unless the Raiders can take the ball downfield with a pass, they've got no chance. Mueller does a big job, though. Breaks the return, gets across the 50-yard line. He'll be spotted down at the 47, so the Raider offense gets a good opportunity here. Good field position to start the drive. Harriman finally knocked down Vance Mueller.
It does not bode well for the Raiders at this point, because Hilger 1 of 5 for 23 yards and an interception. You see the Raiders in the third quarter, 38 yards total. Certain amount of desperation in the Raiders' approach. You either give it to Marcus Allen up the middle or you throw it deep.
Well, they're going to find out now, Trump, what Hilger can do deep, because they've got to go deep. Hilger, back pedal drop, looks over the middle, gets time, dumps it off, makes a connection. Mervin Fernandez coming back at the ball. First time they put it in his hands. And he is all ability as he weaves his way down, stayed in bounds, and got to the 24. He was the best receiver in Canada for 5 years. But you got to put it in his hands before he can show you anything.
Now, Don, this is what I've been speaking of, the underneath stuff. You know that the New England Patriots are going to be sitting back deep. Let's see if he steps out of bounds. That's Andre Tipp at 56 with him. Whoop, 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 whoop.
They say no.
He looks like the great Walinda there walking the tightrope.
25-yard gain. So Hilger does indeed get the ball downfield, and Fernandez does the rest. Hilger looks out pattern. Diving play on the ball, and they rule it incomplete at the 12-yard line. It was going to James Lofton.
Intended receiver James Lofton.
This ball just seems to die when it gets to that sideline. Lofton runs a good pattern. Claiborne back. Loose coverage. Yeah, you can see the ball bounce loose there. Good call by the officials. Incomplete pass.
These two teams have been in a standoff over the years. This is the 26th regular season game. They're 12-12-1 in the previous 25. Even dead even in the preseason, 5-5-1. They usually fight when they play. There have been 3 today, all brief skirmishes. Here's Hilger. Man's there, and he's got a connection down to the 9-yard line. Marcus Allen out of the backfield, turns out, gains a 14-yard.
Roland James, the safety and coverage on Marcus Allen. Raiders like to use Marcus Allen almost as a wide receiver. He comes out of the backfield. He is an excellent receiver, too. Hilger does a good job of avoiding the rush by Veras. And then Allen with the sure-handed catch. First and goal at the 9.
Charlie Hanna pass blocking very well. Brother of a famous Patriot. Hanna, the left guard for the Raiders, keeping people off Hilger. First and goal. Marcus Allen up the middle, not much there. Gained only a yard. He got to the 8-yard line as the game clock is down to 12:17 and running. It's 23-6 New England.
And I would think this is where Bo Jackson might be absolutely at his best. Try something with Bo Jackson here with his tremendous foot speed. Try to run the sweep to the corner. He can get there against most people, but Allen, I think at this point in the Raiders offense, is a little more versatile. Can be a pass receiver. I think when Jackson is in the lineup, he's just a running back, will carry the ball so far.
Second and goal from the 9. Again, the pass blocking's good. Now Hilger running out of trouble and gets it up the middle. Christensen, touchdown Raiders. So when they had to do it, the Raiders behind Hilger get the ball downfield and ultimately into the end zone for their first touchdown of the day. Hilger was banged hard when he released the ball. And Todd Christensen catches it at the 2, spins off and goes in, and it's now a 23-12 game with a lot of time left.
You know, Todd Christensen is really an outlet receiver. He's a pass protector here. There you see him 46 right on the hash mark. Then when Hilger scrambles, he releases as a receiver. He's lost in the shuffle and goes in for a touchdown. 9 yards officially on the touchdown.
Raider pass blocking is really tightened up this week. Their line coach is Sam Bogosian. They had big problems with 2 rookies starting on the right side last week against Seattle. Jeff Bryant had a season, 3 sacks in that game. Perfect ending against Dallas would be to be leading by 5 touchdowns and then throw another touchdown pass on a fake field goal on the last play. Here's the kick downfield. It goes to Irving Fryer. He's across the 20 and out to the 24-yard line. 11:27 to play. The Raiders finally get on track offensively. Their last possession. Now they have to get the ball back.
They finally got him, although he was an outlet receiver. This kid's extraordinary when it comes to getting open. If you don't hold him up at the line of scrimmage, he'll beat you to death. Now the New England Patriots' #1 responsibility is eat some time off the clock. Bert Zarin's talking to another one, huh?
A lot of conferences with the physician. The Tupu turns up, busts tackles, dives ahead. He gets 8 on first down. The big back from Hawaii and Southern California drives on and makes it a second down and 1 play after that 9-yard gain.
Bill Pickell on the tackle. The thing you must admire about Mosi Tutupu the most is that he's the special teams captain. Plays on every special team and is out there 99% of the time on the offense.
Grogan, since he came in the first quarter for injured Tony Eason, has hit 10 of 17 throws for 212 yards and a touchdown. He's been intercepted once. Back to fumble-free Mosi Tutupu, and it's a first down for New England. They run the game clock down to 10:39 and ticking. 23-13. Patriots in the lead.
Spot 38.
Both wide receivers having great days. Fryer and Morgan.
For the New England Patriots, both over 100 yards. Morgan 5 for 106. Fryer 6 for 106 and a touchdown.
The second half, Grogan 7 for 10 for 149 yards and a touchdown. Tony Collins turns out, and gets out to the 43-yard line. First down run, good for about 5. Run out of bounds on the play by inside linebacker Reggie McKenzie of the Raiders.
And you can see that Tony Collins, for some strange reason, appears to have more confidence in his offensive line today. He was right on the hip of Mosi Tutupu, didn't give up on him and cut back inside because the pursuit was there to get him. And as I said in the first half, running the ball is as much attitude as it is execution.
Much improved play today also, Trump, from the left tackle Steve Moore.
Yeah. Well, Barry had him running some gassers this week.
Collins, nothing there. Sean Jones came up and got him along with Bill Pickell. Last week Moore was beaten on a play of blitz by Bickett of the Colts, who nailed the quarterback Eason, who fumbled the ball. Donnell Thompson of the Colts picked it up and ran it in for a touchdown to turn the whole game as the Patriots were ultimately blown out.
Very disappointing. Steve Moore during the strike gained somewhere around 25 pounds. Tips the scales.
This can happen.
Around 340. He was on a rice diet. Someone said he may have eaten it all.
Had that fat attack during the strike. Here comes McKenzie on a blitz. Look at Morgan stand in, but he can't make the connection to Greg Beatty as tight end.
That was a nice roll by Steve Grogan. We were talking about Moore. Someone here in Boston said that he left as a house. He came back with a garage attached. And he's beginning to show signs of wear and tear. Sean Jones, 99, the pass rusher.
You're getting some help from Farrell.
Well, it looks like he needs help. It looks like the house is running out of power there.
But the Raiders will get the ball back as they stop the Patriots. Back deep for Los Angeles is Chris Woods.
Here they come, kicker. Here they come.
Camarillo steps in and unloads.
Whoa, don't catch it.
From the 5, here comes Woods. Big block. Gets across the 15, dancing and twisting.
Whoa.
He's in open field. He looks to beat the kicker, and he cannot, as again Camarillo saves a possible touchdown return. Second time today as it was a 35-yard return by the former All-Canadian player Chris Woods.
Boy, that's taking a chance, catching that ball at the 5-yard line. Most coaches want you to let it go. But you can see when he comes over here, Eddie Anderson, 33, the first block on Guy Morris, and then the rest of it is up to Woods. Tremendous return.
Camarillo's from the University of Washington. Chris Woods is worn out. But the Raiders have the ball, down by 10. Back to live action. The Raiders down by 10, looking to put it up on first down. They scored their last possession, and again they go to Todd Christensen as Hilger guns it over the middle. His last throw by Hilger, you remember, was the touchdown pass. to Todd Christensen. That's good for 11 and a first down, but clock is now ticking down and working against the Raiders.
You see the release that Christensen gets? As long as he's free to roam through a defense, he'll find that dead spot. That's now Hilger's 12th completion on the day. You got to get this guy involved in your offense. He's the best in the game at it.
The Raider tradition is built on great comebacks. Nobody plays beat the clock better than the Raiders in their golden years. Now newcomer tries to do it. Hilger at quarterback going deep. Marcus Allen going for the ball, and it's well overthrown.
I got a flag down too. Holding Raiders. Now Christensen was open again. Hilger's trying to get it when it's not there. The Raider philosophy offensively is
73 offense, holding, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
that's Charlie Hanna. Notice Julius Adams is in the ball game at one defensive end. The left tackle, you see it's on Blackman, 55. Grabbing a hold of in there. That's a no-no. You could see Todd Christensen open. It has long been the Raiders' philosophy to get the ball down the field, but when it's not there, you can't try to force it all day long, Don.
First and 20. Tough down. Pass blocking has to be good. Hilger looks. Tippett's coming. Bo Jackson with the ball. And Bo Jackson hurdles one tackler, Johnny Rembert, and gets ahead to the 46-yard line. A 6-yard gain.
That's inexperience. He didn't wait for his blockers to make a block. He had both a guard and a tackle out there in front of him, and he cut back up inside too quickly. Watch the way this sets up. Let's see if we can pick up who is out in front of him. Both Mosbar, the center, and Wright, the guard, right there, and Bo cuts back inside. He got too anxious there. He'll learn that for not playing for 2 years. There's Art Shell standing right behind him, offensive line coach of the Raiders. That's what he'll learn. You got to go through those growing pains with a kid.
Blitz. Dump off. Running with the ball, and very well is the rookie Steve Smith from Penn State as he goes down the sideline and gets to the 45-yard line. He stepped out short of a first down. Bring up third down and about 5.
This is a nice move by Smith. You see the pass rush coming on Hilger. They run a game up front. 43 Gibson out there to make the stop. Yeah, and he stepped there with his left foot. Good mark by the official. So it'll bring up about third down and 4.
Raiders are really high on Chris Smith, or Steve Smith. Third-round draft choice out of Penn State.
Now this should be a spot for either Marcus Allen or Todd Christensen, just enough to get the first down. Keep the drive alive.
Smith and Allen are the setbacks. Third down and 4.
Christensen
throwing a catch. Todd Christensen. He's inside the 30, and the Raiders get the first down. So Hilger comes alive as again players have to be separated. Andre Tippett was coming on a blitz. The Raiders are doing a big job taking care of Hilger, and he's now giving them the good down the field with a 15-yard throw to Christensen.
You'll see Christensen and Allen right there next to each other. Somebody ran the wrong pattern.
Or Gibson, the right one.
Gibson 43 in coverage, but it's man coverage with that blitz, and Hilger found one of the two open.
You don't think Marcus was executing one of those moving picks, do you?
No. This is not a fast break. He's not the trailer. Doesn't work that way.
They pick off those receivers. The receiver picks off the defensive back a lot of times in this league. Only illegal if you get caught. Now Hilger takes a look. He's in trouble, and he's history at the 35.
Big sack. Kobe Williams, number 90. That's the third sack of the day for the New England Patriots. Ken Sims, 77, with good push up front. Hilger was trying to get back up in the pocket. Toby Williams he's double teamed. Sims pushes everybody back there. Mosbar turns Williams loose, and he makes the sack. And that's second down and 20.
Mosbar, one of the best centers in the NFL, number 72. Charlie Hanna and Steve Wright are the guards. Bruce Davis and rookie John Clay are the tackles. Hilger's completed his last 6 passes. Statistician Bill George totaling up the numbers as now. Hilger takes a look, guns it out. Smith has the ball. He's inside the 15, inside the 10, and he's all the way down to the 4-yard line. And my friends, the Raiders are coming back with a vengeance. 32 yards.
Don Blackman almost had the interception. He was the linebacker out there underneath the coverage on Smith. Watch what happens. This ball somehow goes between Don Blackman's hands, right into Smith's hands. Watch it. Whoa.
That's nice.
Well, he's just standing out there. James Lofton with a block on Claiborne. 35-yard pickup.
Hilger with 7 straight completions. To the run. Marcus Allen flies over the top, and he's cut down at the 3-yard line. The game clock very much a factor now. 5 minutes and 10 seconds left to play. Patriots 23, the Raiders 13. Raiders huddling at their leisure.
Not a good idea. They cannot waste a lot of time, but of course when the plays come in from the sideline, it does take a little more time to get the play off.
This could be a day they'll look back on as the day that Rusty Hilger came of age.
Watch Christensen here, Don. Watch Christensen here.
A line to the right. Lower portion of your screen, 46. Handoff Marcus Allen. He's in, standing up. And the Raiders, with touchdowns in their last 2 possessions, have rallied back. Down by 17. They're now down by 4.
That was a great blocking scheme by the Los Angeles Raiders. Had him spread out. A little motion made him wonder. And then they fire Marcus Allen right up in there. Great double team by 81 Andy Parker and also the tackle Bruce Davis. Watch it on the right-hand side of the screen. You see Davis gets on McGrew. Rembert misses the tackle. Number 52 and Allen into the end zone.
The extra point, a most important one, is good. It brings the Raiders back to within 3 with 4:38 left to play. Marcus Allen, MVP in the Rose Bowl, MVP in the Super Bowl, Heisman Trophy winner, NCAA rushing leader. Right back in winning form today. And Marcus Allen gets into the end zone to bring the Raiders back now to within 3. It's 23-20, and 4:38 shows on the clock.
And it's absolutely amazing how the emotion, the momentum of this game has changed. The third period totally owned by the New England Patriots, and to this point, the fourth quarter totally owned by the Los Angeles Raiders. There's Raymond Berry on the sideline. He's now got to come up with something for his offense that's a long, consistent, sustained drive. There's Grogan thinking over the game plan. What has worked? What can we go to?
I think Coach Flores feeling a little better about things, as I think Raymond Berry right now, Trump is wondering, after being very happy to see Hilger in there, now he's wondering, how do we stop him? Irving Fryer for the Patriots. Penalty marker in, and the Patriots will be set back. Another skirmish after the tackle. Williams
Brett
got it.
Williams. Raiders' idea here, 3 downs and out. Patriots' idea here, about 4 minutes off the clock.
Rogan wants some offense. Downfield he goes, and Irving Fryer goes high and loses the ball on the way down.
No
And at
catch.
the 32, but it's incomplete. It's 2nd down and 10 now for the Patriots. Lionel Washington is down.
Tell you one thing about Steve Grogan. He's got the constitution of a riverboat game. He gets his own player. Watch McElroy come in there. That blur I spoke of earlier, helmet on helmet, and Washington's out there before he hits the ground.
Fortunately, Lionel's getting up. Appears to be shaken up, but coming off under his own power. Grogan with some phenomenal passing numbers. He's got 10 completions and 19 throws today, and he's averaging over 21 yards a completion.
That's extraordinary.
1 for a touchdown. He's been picked off once, set by Lyndon King, you remember. So now the Raiders, who've scored 14 points in their last 2 possessions when seemingly they were out of this game, have rallied back to within 3. It's 23-20 with 4:19 to play.
I'd watch the slant right here to Stanley Morgan. That's one play that's worked today. Either Morgan or Fryer on the slant.
Grogan stands in. Pump fakes, and the Raiders get him.
Sean Jones. Jones is over Steve Moore. Third sack of the day for the Los Angeles Raiders. Jerry Robinson also on the blitz. Watch from the left-hand side of the screen. It looks like Sean Jones beats Sean Farrell. Robinson makes the first contact. He beats Tony Collins. Boy, is this a must down for the New England Patriots. 3rd and 13.
They once took a survey when the Raiders were in Oakland asking fans what they liked best about the team. One guy responded, the last 2 minutes. We could have that again today. A down to the stretch run by the Raiders. 3rd down and 13. Grogan doesn't want to run it, so he throws it, and he's got a first down connection. Cedric Jones caught the ball. His first reception of the day, good for 16 yards and a first down.
They needed 13. This is a zone coverage. You see Turan turn him over. Lyndon King 52, 57 Robinson. Grogan does a great job of just stepping up in the pocket. Good pass protection by the Patriots. That's the biggest 3rd down conversion the Patriots have had today.
Tell you one thing, these guys would like to be playing on grass.
Yeah, looked like Cedric Jones hit his elbow there. Not bad numbers.
Pitchback. Collins trying to find a crack in the Raider line of defense. Linebacker Matt Millen stuffed him. But the Patriots at this point doing well and keeping the clock ticking as you see it winding down to 2:45. Holding to a 3-point lead are the Patriots.
Now, if I were the Raiders, I'd start calling my timeouts here, because that's the only way the defense can stop the clock, and you want to give your offense some time. Let's see, there's 14 seconds left on the 30-second clock. You want to leave your offense about 2 minutes if you possibly can.
Not with a veritable rookie at quarterback. I'd keep my timeouts. Handoff to Tupu. Penalty markers down. That'll stop the clock with 2:15 to play.
You're absolutely right. But when people talk about the 2-minute offense, it's in fact not a 2-minute offense. It's more like a 3-minute offense. Offsides, defense. So they don't have to run another play. The New England Patriots have just
Number 48 defense lined up in a neutral zone. 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
That's Lionel Washington trying to. He's on Irving Fryer. As I was saying, Don, the New England Patriots have just spent about 46 seconds running a play and a half. That's why your defense has got to call timeouts before the 2-minute warning. Now the clock starts, and the Patriots do not have to run a play until the 2-minute warning. Raiders have just wasted 50 seconds.
Raiders with their full complement of 3 timeouts. So it's getting very deep right now as Grogan has a 2nd and 3 play coming up when we come back. Patriots thought the Raiders were history. All of a sudden, Hilger comes of age.
Yeah, now this is where the coaches really come in. If I'm the New England Patriots, I got to wonder what the Raiders are going to do. And if I'm the Raiders, I blitz on every down. And after every down, I call timeout, no matter what happens. Now, the clock stops on a sack. That's what you want to try to do. You want to try to save seconds for your offense. You got to use those timeouts as best you possibly can. Now, the New England Patriots realize that. They'll be very, very careful with that football. They'll try to get a slant quick, something. But they want to avoid the sack. They want to stay in bounds. And the Raiders, they want to do all the opposite things. Get them out of bounds, try to get a sack, call the timeouts. And if it comes down to them needing 50 seconds to win this game, they just wasted 50 seconds before the 2-minute warning, in my estimation.
Well, we're down to the last 2 minutes, the most exciting part of Raider football over the years. And here's Collins running ahead. He didn't get there. It'll be 3rd down and about 2.
And they call a timeout.
1:53 to play. Raiders with 2 timeouts left. A huge down coming up now. So Coach Flores paces the sidelines, and we'll find out in a moment. He was going bad. Now Raymond Berry and his Patriots are hoping Hilger doesn't get the ball back, because he might take him in for a 3rd straight time.
This is the game right here, Don.
Collins, he's not going to get there, or is he? He's hit, he's dropped.
He got it.
Did he get it?
It looks awful close.
He didn't get close.
No. He
Not
didn't
close.
get it. Where they marked it.
Well, they marked it. He's knocked down at the 35. He had to get out to about the 36, over the 36.
You're absolutely right. He did not make the first down. You see the double pull. Wooten 61, Farrell 62. Rod Martin helps out. And then it's Stacy Turan, Jerry Robinson 57, 54 Reggie McKenzie. All right, now the clock stops on the change of possession. So the Raiders have done this very well.
Just like we like it, right down to the gun. The Raiders are going to get it back. 1:46 to play. The Patriots long distance punter Rich Camarillo on the field, and there's Chris Woods ready to run it back.
Raiders have 10 guys up, 1 guy back.
They're setting up a return now. Another big punt. Very high, wobbly kick. Woods takes it at his 23. To the 30. To the 35. Not done yet. He's out to the 40-yard line. This is a replacement season player who's sticking for obvious reasons. A 17-yard return. And now Hilger and the Raider offense comes out trailing 23-20 with 92 seconds to play.
What was Ken Stabler's number when he played with the Raiders?
12.
This is where legends are made.
He's got to do quite a bit of legend making to cut with a snake.
Well, this is where it starts.
66,000 at packed Sullivan Stadium with a lot of noise for Hilger to contend with. Long ball, open man. That's James Lofton on the run, dipping and weaving, looking to get out of bounds, and he does. An all-pro play by an all-pro player as Hilger throws a strike over the middle of the field, and James Lofton does the rest, weaving through the Patriot defenders for a 30-yard gain, and he stops the clock with 1:22 to play.
Now, Don, it looks like there's man coverage on top and underneath, but the coverage is so loose that you allow these receivers to move around. There's got to be a little more. They got to be an awful lot closer to those receivers at the line of scrimmage so that you can't turn them loose. Fernandez at the bottom, Lofton at the top.
Raiders have to guard against a turnover. Patriots hunting the ball as Marcus Allen runs on first down and not very far. But they're already in Chris Barr field goal range. We could be going to overtime as the game clock you see ticking down now. 68 seconds. Looks like Blackman is down. Outside linebacker Don Blackman.
So they'll stop the clock.
Charge timeout to the Patriots.
You know, just a nick from shaving. Anything.
I tell you see him walk out in the field, he sure looks like the real thing.
Yeah.
6'4", 215. He can fire it all over. And he has to have a lot of self-confidence to come back the way he has in this game. He was ineffective for most of the game, and then when he had to do it, he really did it. Taking the Raiders downfield for touchdowns on their previous 2 possessions, and here they come again, trailing by just 3 points with 1:04.
That's what the doctors are looking for.
On the sideline, former Penn State soccer player Chris Barr. Now an attorney in California. He's not thinking about
I think the Blade lives in Phoenix, but that's Nelson, and now Blackman injured today for the New England Patriots. Christensen.
Long ball, Mervyn Fernandez, and Fernandez did well to strip it away from Lepet, who almost had an interception.
I'm telling you again, Todd Christensen was wide open. It was intended for Fernandez down the field. Todd Christensen was across the middle, wide open. Again, going for it all.
Well, I tell you,
that's great coverage.
Excellent coverage. Lepet very nearly intercepted, and had he done that, that would be it for the Raiders. Now 3rd down and 10 comes up. It's going to be a very long field goal try unless they get closer on this. 23-20, the Patriots lead. Marcus Allen down to the 21-yard line.
He's out of bounds.
Brings up 4th down.
They're bringing Chris Barr in. Now this is a good choice by Hilger.
38-yard field goal.
He does get out of bounds. That's the most important factor. Mark Wilson is the holder.
He's actually going to be 39 when they're going to spot the ball. 51 seconds to go. See, Barr missed from 41. This is a 39-yarder. He's got it. The Raiders tie the game with 46 seconds to play. So we could be heading to OT, but you must keep in mind that one of the best long-range kickers in the NFL is the man who boots for the Patriots, Tony Franklin, the man who led the NFL.
Return man here, Don. You never can tell what Irving can come up with.
Raiders have come from behind with 17 points to 24 points in the fourth quarter. They only scored 23, friend. They've scored 17 points in the fourth quarter. It's 10-6 at halftime. Then the Patriots extended it to 23-6.
Look at this kickoff.
Irving does well to down the ball. And now Grogan and the Patriots come out looking to get in field goal range with 46 seconds to play. We'll see Morgan Trump coming. We're all coaches and we all have 20/20 hindsight.
Absolutely. He's in the shotgun.
That's my story and I'm sticking to it. Morgan, that's where they're looking. Long ball to Stanley Morgan. He's got the ball. Stanley Morgan down inside the 40 and down. They're ruling that he stayed in bounds and now they stop the clock with 35 seconds to play. Stanley Morgan was the man, and it's a 40-yard gain. He just beat the defense with breakaway speed.
Now, frankly, how in the world can Mike Haynes allow this to happen? Morgan outruns Mike Haynes, bump and run coverage. Watch a little move inside. And then back to the outside, and Grogan puts it absolutely on the numbers. But how can Mike Haynes allow that to happen?
Morgan can outrun Secretariat.
Whoops.
The only guy he can't outrun is Bo Jackson, and he's not on the field right now.
Well, Bo Jackson should have been covering him then. Van McElroy finally gets him out. It cost the Patriots a timeout. You called it, Cricky. You called it. I got to give you credit. You're right on the number. Hey, I'd do it again. I'd try it again. From here, it would be a 57-yard attempt.
This is some game.
There's plenty of time.
Down to the gun. 35 seconds left. The big thing you don't do is turn it over. Now, from where the ball's positioned, it would be a 57-yard field goal.
So they need about 10 yards.
Dump off throw. Catch is made. The tight end Beatty with his first of the day, and he advances the ball down to the 35-yard line. Second down and 5.
Remember, Tony Franklin's hit his last 6 field goals in a row.
He's fully warmed up.
He's hit from 50 already today. Here's Harold Jackson on.
That's the former Ram Harold Jackson. Was he something?
He played during the replacement games.
They brought him back. He played 15 years and then came back for a 16th.
Same play again. Try to get 5 more yards.
Grogan looks. Stanley Morgan. Stanley Morgan. Broken up at the goal line. Big play by Stacy Turan. The strong safety doubled up, and he popped the ball free. It was almost 6. Now third down comes up, and still with the ball's position, Trump, it's a 52-yard field goal. They need to get closer.
The constitution of the riverboat gambler again. We beat him once with this play. Let's do it again. Haynes 22, Turan 30. Morgan, great concentration on the football. Just jarred away by Stacy Turan. Third down and 6.
Glad you could be with us for this great game at Foxborough. Don Cricky with Bob Trumpy as Grogan looks and dumps it off, and it's incomplete. And now it's a long field goal, a 52-yard attempt coming up by the Patriots with 21 seconds to play. Our producer today for NBC Sports has been Glenn Adamo. Our director, Andy Rosenberg. The executive producer of NBC Sports is Michael
Wait a minute, they're going for it here.
Coordinating producer of NFL football, Ted Nathanson. Let's see if they go for it.
Absolutely. Grogan staying on the field. Obviously, Raymond Berry does not realize the Patriots have never won in overtime. They're going to try to draw him off sides. That's the first thing that they might try to do. There's 16 seconds left on the 30-second clock. No, they got to go for it. They're going for it.
So this could decide whether they get the winning field goal attempt or if we're going to overtime. 4th down throw. Lob downfield. It's caught. And the penalty marker's down.
Interference.
And he got out of bounds. Well, the marker stopped the clock anyway.
Jeff
15
Barnes.
seconds.
Jeff Barnes did not turn around and look at the quarterback. That's an automatic first down. Ball was intended for the tight end, Greg Beatty. Now watch Jeff Barnes, 56. He never turns around to look at the football.
Defensive interference number 56.
Anyway.
Penalty refused. First down.
Great catch.
Greg Beatty, a second-year tight end from Stanford, caught it anyway.
That one hand waving in the face is allowed. That's not pass interference that way, but the contact was pass interference. So now you ask Tony Franklin which side of the field you want it on, pal.
But knowing Grogan, as you pointed out, Trump, he'll probably be thrown into the end zone.
Sure, try it once.
And those field goals, even if they're short, they don't count until they go through. And he was 1 for 5 his first 5 times out on the field kicking field goals this season. But he's been hot.
Okay, he goes up underneath the center. He wants to take no chances with the snap.
Now he's going to
quarterback draw.
Down to the 17-yard line. A 34-yard attempt from there.
Here he comes, Tony Franklin. That drive started at their own 20 with 46 seconds to go. And the big play was the pass reception by Stanley Morgan. 40-yard reception by Stanley Morgan over Mike Haynes.
Thanks to Joe Pereski and Greg Madden and Bill George in the booth as we're now down to 9 seconds to play.
Ramsey's the holder. Guy Morris is the snapper.
Nine seconds to go. The game on the line. 23-23. It's up. It's no good. We're going to overtime.
No, Raiders are offsides.
Oh, there's a penalty marker down.
They'll get another chance.
Was it definitely the Raiders?
The Raiders defensive end was offsides.
Defense, number 48, offside.
Lionel Washington was offsides. Left-hand side of your screen. It was a 37-yard attempt.
Could have been 34 if it was at the 17-yard line.
Yeah, 34. So now Tony Franklin gets a second chance.
We're talking about it's no sure thing until it goes through. That was way off. Raiders are coming with 11 guys, as you would expect. This one's on the way, and it makes it through, just getting through the right upright. So the penalty against the Raiders gives the Patriots a second chance. And New England averts an overtime game. They're 0-8 in overtime over the years. They never got to OT today. 1 second left, and the Raiders will go down to their 4th consecutive loss of this season.
Don, that was close to being wide right, too.
Surely was.
Very close. Ramsey on the hold. And Franklin's not sure. Ramsey is. Yes, sir.
Tom Ramsey, the former Bruin from UCLA, holding. Eason's out.
Watch how close that is. Whoa. Well, now what you need is a Cal Stanford finish. Remember that one?
Yeah. Lateral it and finally run right on through the band.
You score when you hit the trombone player. You got to try anything here, Don. A pass, a lateral, anything. Now, if you're New England, you don't kick it deep. There's the guy, the 40-yard reception. The 40-yard reception by Stanley Morgan over Mike Haynes, a former New England Patriot.
I tell you, they're standing and dancing here in Foxborough.
Who we got as an MVP here? Franklin or Grogan?
I'd go with Grogan. Here they go.
That's it. Steve Grogan. Let's take Steve Grogan as the MVP.
Certainly Franklin had a great game. Stanley Morgan had a fabulous game. But Grogan, as he's done so many times before, comes off the bench. And as much a gentleman in defeat as he is in victory, Tom Flores looks to shake the hand of Raymond Berry.
Lionel Washington was offside, gave Tony Franklin a second chance, and Tony Franklin made good on it.
So the Patriots assure themselves of at least a share of first place in the